This week's Parsha of Yisro, we learn about the Aseres Hadibros, otherwise known as the Ten Commandments. And there's so much to unpack on so many different levels. I just want to immediately jump to the 10th of the Aseres Hadibros, the 10th commandment, and that is Lo Sachmod. Thou shalt not covet. Lo Sachmod Beis Re'echa, the Torah says, don't covet your friend's house. If your friend has this beautiful mansion on the river, don't walk by his home and say, I wish I could have this home. Lo Sachmod Eishes Re'echa. Don't covet your friend's wife. You see someone else's wife and she seems so much more attractive to you. Lo Sachmod Eishes Re'echa. Don't fall down that rabbit hole. B'chol asher l're'echa. At the end of the pasuk it says, don't covet anything he has. Don't covet his car. Don't covet his vacations. Don't covet anything he says. And the truth of the matter is, it makes a lot of sense. Don't covet things that you don't have. But there's a famous question on this prohibition of lo sachmod, you shall not covet. And that's asked by the Ibn Ezra. And the question is, as we know, the Torah places prohibitions on actions. You shall not do this action. Don't do that action. Not only that, the Torah places prohibitions on speech, verbal speech. You shall not say this, don't say this, don't say lashon hara, gossip, don't say hurtful words, and so on and so forth. But where do we ever find a prohibition placed on an emotion? On an emotion, don't covet is an emotion. You walk by someone's house, it's a mansion on the river, and you feel like you want to have that. That is prohibited. Okay, maybe it's not the best. It's not the best attitude for one to have. But where do we ever find that the Torah regulates natural emotions? And the Ibn Ezra says something very powerful. He answers this with a parable. He says that if somebody is looking to get married and he hears that the princess, the daughter rather, of the king and queen has just been engaged to somebody else, the likelihood of him saying, I'm sorry I missed out on that shidduch, I'm sorry I missed out on that match, is very low. Because he knows the princess is in a different circle than him. She's looking for a match, with someone that's similar to her upbringing and circles. And he's looking for a match, someone similar to his upbringing and his circles. And so too says the Ibn Ezra, we have to look at all our material possessions in life like that. The reason why I have this particular automobile, I have this particular car, and the reason why my neighbor has a mansion on the river and that particular one, and that's because Hashem placed that person with those particular possessions for his particular destiny in life, for his particular opportunities and challenges. And I have a completely different destiny with different opportunities and challenges. So really, the lesson of Lo Sachmod is not just about not coveting. The deeper message of Lo Sachmod, thou shalt not covet, is to recognize that the material portfolio that we have in life, that is exactly what we need, because that's what God gave us, and that's exactly what we need. When it comes to spiritual pursuits, we should always pursue higher goals and ambitions, and we should never be content. And when we see somebody, we should say, if he is on a higher spiritual level, I want to be on that spiritual level as well. But when it comes to material possessions, it's the opposite. When it comes to material possessions, we should be content with the portfolio that God gave us in life, to realize that the destiny that we are supposed to have comes with the opportunities and challenges, the assets and liabilities that we have in this world. So really, Lo Sachmod is teaching us a great lesson of faith. All the material possessions that we have are specifically and perfectly designed for our journey in this world. Wishing you a very good Shabbos.